I never thought that an ordinary afternoon spent buying a wedding gift could destroy my entire life and shake my family to the core. I was inside a crowded shopping mall holding a beautiful silver photo frame that I had carefully picked for my daughter Emily's wedding day. Her wedding was just 3 days away, and I wanted to give her something meaningful, something she could keep forever. My phone suddenly vibrated, and I saw a text message from an unknown number. The words on the screen froze my entire body. "Don't go to the wedding. Run." I just stood there staring at it, not moving. For a moment, I thought it must be some kind of cruel prank. Who would send something like this right before my daughter's wedding? My hands started shaking. Without thinking too much, I called the number immediately, ready to demand answers from whoever was behind it. A man answered. His voice was low, nervous, and serious. He said, "David, if you really care about your daughter, you must stop this wedding from happening." The moment he said my name, my stomach dropped. That single detail made everything feel real and dangerous. I stepped out of the busy store because I could barely hear myself think. My heart was beating fast as I pressed the phone tighter to my ear. The man told me his name was Alex. He said he had worked closely with my future son-in-law, Ryan. His voice trembled, like he was afraid of being caught or punished for speaking to me. He insisted that there were things I needed to know before it was too late. My mind couldn't process it. Emily was only 24. She was deeply in love and had been planning her dream wedding for months. She was always smiling, excited, and full of happiness whenever she talked about Ryan. How could I suddenly believe that something was wrong without hurting her? Still confused and anxious, I agreed to meet Alex. We arranged to meet at a quiet diner far from my home. The drive felt extremely long. My thoughts kept spinning the whole way there. When I walked into the diner, I saw Alex sitting in a corner booth, constantly looking around like he was scared someone might follow him. He didn't waste any time. He placed a small USB drive on the table and pushed it toward me. He said, "Take this, but don't open it at home where others can see. And please, don't tell your daughter yet. Just check it first." His words made my chest tighten. That night, after my wife Linda went to sleep, I stayed alone in the garage with my laptop. My hands were unsteady as I inserted the USB drive. The moment the files opened, I felt my world start to collapse. There were photos, messages, bank records, and documents that showed a completely different side of Ryan. Nothing about him matched the man we thought we knew. I spent the whole night going through everything. I couldn't stop, even though each new file made me feel worse. I discovered that Ryan had been married twice before. Both marriages ended suddenly, and both ex-wives refused to speak about him. There were also old police records mentioning violence, but the cases had somehow disappeared or been dropped under strange circumstances. Then I found messages between Ryan and a woman named Sophia. They were sent just 2 weeks earlier. My hands went cold as I read them. Ryan had written that once he got the wedding money, he would be done pretending and would leave. He called Emily naive and said her father was rich and easy to fool. It was clear they were planning to take advantage of us financially. I couldn't sleep at all that night. My mind was full of anger, fear, and shock. The next morning, Emily came downstairs smiling and full of excitement, talking about wedding decorations and flowers. She looked so happy and innocent. I forced myself to smile so she wouldn't notice anything wrong, but inside I was breaking apart. Later, I called Alex again. He told me even more disturbing things. He explained that Ryan had a pattern of meeting women, gaining their trust, and slowly controlling them. In some cases, he had taken their money and destroyed their lives. One woman had lost everything she owned. Another had ended up in the hospital after their relationship fell apart. I couldn't just sit quietly anymore. I began checking things myself. I called Ryan's workplace pretending to ask about his services. That's when I learned he had actually been fired 3 months earlier. He had lied to us and said he was still working and traveling for business. Every story he told us was false. That same day, I met Alex again. This time he brought audio recordings. I listened in shock as Ryan laughed and spoke casually about tricking Emily and her father. He sounded proud, like it was all a game to him. Those words hit me harder than anything else. I later found out that Emily had already transferred $30,000 into a shared wedding account. My anger turned into panic. I knew I had to stop this, but I also knew I couldn't just tell Emily everything without proof. She was deeply in love, and I was afraid she wouldn't believe me. I had less than 2 days left before the wedding events began. Every hour felt painful. I tried to act normal in front of Emily, but inside I was carrying a heavy secret that was destroying me. The night before the rehearsal dinner, I couldn't hold it in anymore. After Linda went to sleep, I asked Emily to sit with me in the living room. She was happily scrolling through honeymoon ideas, smiling without any worry. I took a deep breath and told her I needed her to listen carefully because something serious had come up about Ryan. At first, she thought I was joking, but when I showed her the messages, photos, and played the recordings, her face slowly changed. She kept shaking her head, saying it couldn't be true. Tears filled her eyes as she tried to deny everything she was seeing and hearing. Then she called Ryan. He answered calmly, acting normal as always. He told her not to worry and said I was just stressed. He said he would come over and explain everything. When Ryan arrived, he acted confident at first. He tried to explain everything away, saying Alex was just a jealous former coworker. But when I played the recording, his face changed. For a moment, I saw panic and anger behind his smile. Emily finally asked him directly if he had taken her money. He stayed silent for a long time. That silence told her everything. After that, everything fell apart. The rehearsal dinner was canceled. Family members kept calling, confused and worried. Ryan started calling me nonstop. At first, he threatened me. Then he begged, crying and apologizing, trying to fix things. Emily locked herself in her room for hours. I stayed outside her door, speaking softly, telling her I was there and that she wasn't alone. Eventually, she opened the door and broke down in my arms. She cried like she was a little child again. It hurt deeply, but I was just thankful we stopped the wedding in time. The next morning, which was supposed to be her wedding day, we went straight to the bank. Ryan had already tried to withdraw money early in the morning, but the bank managed to freeze the account after we explained everything. Emily was emotional and broken, but slowly she started showing strength. She personally called all the vendors and canceled everything. Some people were kind and understanding. Later, we found out Ryan had already planned to leave the country using a fake identity just days after the wedding. Alex contacted me one last time. He said he was proud we stopped it. He also shared that he had lost a family member in a similar situation, which was why he warned me in the first place. Emily moved back home for a while. We spent many evenings talking, crying, and slowly healing together. She felt embarrassed at first, blaming herself for not noticing the signs. I kept telling her that love can blind anyone, and there was nothing wrong with trusting someone you care about. Over time, she started healing. We took walks together, talked more, and slowly rebuilt her confidence. The pain didn't disappear quickly, but it became easier to carry. 3 months have passed now. Emily smiles again, not in the same way as before, but in a calmer and stronger way. She started therapy and slowly rebuilt her life. We also recovered all the money that was taken. She even started writing online to help others recognize warning signs in relationships. Ryan tried contacting her again from a different number, but she blocked him immediately. Last we heard, he had left the area. Looking back, I truly believe that one unknown message saved my daughter's future. I will never ignore my instincts again. If something feels wrong, I will always pay attention. If you are a parent, trust your gut when something doesn't feel right about your child's relationship. And if you are planning a future with someone, make sure you truly know who they are. Always pay attention to warning signs and protect the people you love.